The first topwater that starts working the best is a buzzbait. They will hit a buzzbait before they hit any other topwater out there, because you can work a buzzbait really slow, and there's something about the noise and the profile those colder water bass just like. I've caught a lot of bass on a buzzer, a lot of big bass on buzzers when the water temperature's in the 50s. I can't say that about any other topwater. I don't think there's another topwater that I fish that I have probably ever caught many fish on if the water temperature is below 60 degrees, but a buzzbait is one of those. So buzzbait is a really good bait to throw, especially if that water temperature is between, like, say 55 to 60 degrees, in that range. Now, once the water temperature starts getting above 60 degrees, sort of in that 60 to 70 degree range, that's when some other type of baits work really good as far as, top water. So one of my favorites for that time frame is just a popper. Megabass Pop Max here. I like a popper during that situation because it seems like when that water temperature's in the 60s, you have a lot of bass that are in really shallow water, and the popper, you can work it very subtly across the surface and just barely move it. You can go bloop, bloop, let it set for a long time. But the top waters that you can fish when the water's in the 60s that just set there and don't move, so this would be like a floating Rapala minnow, it could be like a bangle lure or something like that. A prop bait, something that's got a little prop on the end, something you can just let that bait set there. And one of my favorite ways to fish it is just throw it out there. Elijah's riding his bike outside the garage here. Is throw it out there and twitch it a couple times, and then let all the ripples dissipate from the bait before you twitch it again. That works really, really good as far as when the water's in the 60s. Now, when the water starts to get above 70 degrees, like, upper 60s, around 70, this is when I'm going to the walking topwater. This walking topwater is going to be one of my top baits anytime that water temperature's, over 70 degrees. There's just something about it, they really like it, in a lot of different conditions. I mean, I've caught a lot of fish on a walking topwater in 2 foot of visibility or 10 foot of visibility. There's something about when the bass are in that early post-spawn, mode, they really like a walking topwater. So my springtime transition into this early season topwater is I start out with a buzzer, then I go to some type of a quiet bait on the surface that just sits there, and then I go to a walking topwater. So this is going to take me from about March, April, and May. Those are going to be the 3 months for those 3 lures. And then the rest of the year, it's just sort of scattered a little bit, depending upon, the situation. To be honest with you guys, I don't fish a topwater much in the summertime. It's like, you can catch fish on it, but there's other techniques that far outweigh that. My window for top